Hello students. So today we are going to start with our standard 6th subject science lesson number 14, that is light and the formation of shadows. So students, in the previous half of our lesson we had learnt about the light, how it is propagated, how it is spreaded, how the reflection occurs, and how the object is seen in the mirror through the reflection or with the help of reflection. Also, we had learnt about that the light is traveling in a straight line. So students, in this half we are going to know about shadows. So first is the pinhole camera. So students, here in the image, what actually it is, that you have to take an empty cylindrical box. Now remove its cap on one side, and at the other cap light a candle and hold the box in such a way that the flame of the candle is in front of the hole. Now what you will see students, that an upside down, or you can say inverted image of the flame on the thin paper at the other end is seen. So students, what difference do we notice on looking through the windows in the picture? What causes the difference? The picture shows transparent, opaque, translucent window panes. How? Depending on the nature of window pane, we may or may not see the object on the other side through it. How? From this we can identify transparent. Transparent means such window or such objects through which you can see both sides. Okay. Opaque is such object through which you cannot see the other side of the object. Translucent are some objects through which you can see the other side of the object, but it is little blur. For example, piece of a glass, wax paper, tinted glass, oil paper, white plastic, a tea kettle, a notebook, cloth, water, a wooden cupboard, a sheet of notebook. From all these things you can identify which is transparent, which is opaque, or which is translucent objects. Okay. The material through which light passes is said to be transparent, because of which we can see the other side. The material through which light does not pass is said to be opaque. That is why we cannot see the other side. The material through which light passes partially is said to be translucent. That is why we can see the other side, but it is little blur, or you can say not clear. So students, now going towards formation of shadow. How basically the shadow is formed. So here we can try this, that you can take an electric torch. We all know what torch is, correct? Now flash its light on a wall. Now make your friend stand in between the torch and the wall. What will happen? His or her shadow will cast on the wall. Correct? So if an opaque object comes in the way of a light source, light does not pass through it. As a result, the light does not reach a wall or any other surface in the other side of the object. The part remains dark. This dark part is called the shadow of the object. So now also we can try this. Here you can see there are 3 trees, correct? And there are sun. So we can just imagine that these trees are some people. Okay, maybe your friend is a tree, and the placement of the sun is the placement of you holding the torch. What you have to say is that if you send the friend closer to the wall, how his shadow will be? His shadow will be huge. Ask your friend to come towards you. What will happen? His shadow will come more huge. If you tell your friend to move further away from him and towards him again, what will happen? His shadow will seem small. So basically in different angles the shadow falls differently. The shadow of an object is only formed when light does not pass through the object. The kind of shadow it forms depend upon the relative distance between the sources of light, the object and the surface or the screen on which the shadow is formed. Understood? Even the shadow of an object formed due to sunlight is long in the mornings, and when you see it in the evenings it become long, but when you see it in afternoon it is short. We can easily note these changes if we observe the trees in the picture or also in real. Okay, this change in the shadow depends on the sources of light, the object, and also on the surface on which the shadow is formed. Now students, moving to the next topic, in our next page we'll go towards a very popular, or I don't know if you know, but there is a sundial. What is a sundial? Basically, a sundial is an instrument which indicates the time with the help of the extent and the direction of the shadow of an object formed in sunlight. Children, if you know that during earlier times or during in olden times, what people used to do, how they used to know that what time it is, they did not have any watch. So time was measured by placing a stick parallel to the axis of the earth, and its shadow was being noticed. So by noting the position of its shadow on the dial at different times of day, that is basically the sundial. So the largest sundial is at Jantar Mantar, which is placed in New Delhi. Okay, students, now there was also a research work which was presented by this Indian scientist. His name is Sir C.V. Raman. Now what he researched about is regarding the scattering of lights. Even now it is known as the Raman effect. Okay, so he discovered this effect on 28th February 1928. So to commemorate, or you can say to celebrate this event, 28th February is celebrated as National Science Day. Understood? Now in few days 28th February is going to come, so we all will celebrate the National Science Day. Okay students, in India it is mainly celebrated, not in nation, not worldwide. Okay, now moving to the next is in the past. Students, as we heard about Sir C.V. Raman, there was also a very famous British scientist. You must all have heard about him. His name is Sir Isaac Newton, correct? So this Sir Isaac Newton made a special disc. Now what special disc is it was that one side of the disc was divided equally into 7 petals, or you can say 7 parts of the 7 colors you can see in the image, correct? Now red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet, these are the 7 colors. So the disc was fitted on a stand and then rotated fast, very fast. Okay, so now as the disc rotated and these 7 colors which you can see now got disappeared and only white was seen. So through this he proved that sunlight is made of 7 colors. That is why the disc is known as Newton's disc. Newton also wrote a book called Optics, and this was all about light. Okay, it was based on light. Okay students, so here we finished with the whole lesson. I hope it was very simple and you all understood it very well, that how the light is made, how it is propagated, and how with the help of light and the objects the shadows are placed. Also we came to know about the great 2 scientists, that is Dr. C.V. Raman and British scientist Sir Isaac Newton. So students, we'll meet in our next class with next lesson. Till then, thank you.